everyone, welcome back to Matt and Mel Adventures. Obviously we've given birth, so this is baby Max. Baby Max is now 4 months old, and now obviously we're past the initial kind of newborn phase. We've got a little bit more time in our hands, so we'll be able to take you through kind of what happened to the pregnancy and the birthing, kind of what we took to the hospital, all the things that have worked well for us. Initially I just wanted to introduce you, things we'll talk about. Meet this lovely little boy who's due for his nap. This video is what's in my hospital bag. When we're researching babies, I knew nothing about babies. I looked at a lot of blogs, read a load of books, read a load of articles, and they were so helpful. So I thought I'd try and do the same with the hospital bag. Max is now 4 months old, so I finally have a little bit more time to be able to do this. So hopefully you find some of this useful. I suppose the first thing to say is the bag. So this is actually Max's nappy or diaper bag, depending on where you live in the world. It's quite big. This is the bag we took to the hospital for all of his baby things. We have separate bags for myself, my husband and Matt, which I will kind of cover at the end about some of the hints and tips for that. But this bag's great. It came from Amazon. There are lots very similar to it, but we particularly like this one. It has lots of little pockets where you can put milk. It's got a little zip at the front where you can put some ice packs. And then there are lots and lots and lots of dividers where you can put nappies and lots of different things. So it's really helpful when you're in a rush to be able to grab things quickly. And so also some of the nurses in the hospital could easily get at things. It's also got some great shoulder straps and lots of kind of attachments. I think this one came with a changing mat, so that's really helpful as well. So that's the bag. So what went in the bag? So let's start with the easiest things, which are nappies. So these happen to be size 2. I think the recommendation I read or saw online was to take a range of size of nappies because you don't know how big your baby's going to be. These are size 2. We think we took a mix of size 1 and size 2. And Max was in size 1 until he was at least 3 months old. And he's now in size 2. So take a number of nappies. To go with the nappies, you're going to want some wipes. I believe the recommendation in the UK is to use kind of non-chemical wipes or just cotton wool and water. And I think we've tried both. We've actually tried a range of wipes. From a recommendation point of view, over the past few months, I've used so many different types. We're gifted a lot. There's a lot in our nursery tour if you have a look at that. Particularly like these ones, although they are super expensive. However, if you do buy the cheaper ones, it's a little bit false economy because you'll use 5 for every one of these. So I love these. And we happen to have these in a little pretty pouch. It came from eBay or Amazon. It's really sweet. I mean, it's unnecessary really. You just end up decanting wipes into it, but it's good. I've got it now. It's pretty. And then the other thing that I carry around or took with me is a little diaper bag. Little diaper like sacks to put in your dirty nappies. They're scented, quite nice. So whenever you have one, you can wrap it up and go. And then the other thing we took, because in UK hospitals where you change your baby, or from my experience what we did, is we changed the baby on the bed. So it was my bed. It wasn't necessarily like 100% clean, so we had just given birth. So what we did is we have a changing mat, which you can use and wash, which is great. And then the other thing that we have, which aren't very environmentally friendly, and I recognise that, are these, which are disposable mats, which you use if it's got a really big poo. So these are actually cut in half size of the ones you can buy. We buy them from a local shop really cheaply, and then I cut them up into smaller sizes. And we don't use them very often, but it's really helpful to have. So I took a couple of those with us. And then from a food point of view, obviously the hospital give you food. And then obviously I did a mix of breastfeeding and nappy feeding and bottle feeding. I can do a whole separate video on breastfeeding, breast pumps, whether there's kind of nipple confusion, kind of my opinions on that. But what I didn't know, and kind of most people know this, is you immediately don't get your milk. It took me probably about 4 or 5 days before my milk kicked in. So obviously your baby has to live on formula in the meantime. We were constantly trying to get my milk going, and it did come. But in the interim, you had to have something. So the hospital give you food, and they have these mini little baby bottles, which are super cute. And you can make up food there. But the other thing that we took with us, actually we carry around quite a lot for emergencies, are these little instant ones. There's loads of different brands that do it, and make sure you get the ones that are from birth. So if you're in a fix or something suddenly happens and you haven't got formula made up straight away, or you're not can't breastfeed, these are really great. So in for the formula bottles. So we started on, I think it's Mam, I think it's the brand. And I think this one's a self-sterilising one. So you put a little bit of water in the bottom and you put it in the microwave and it will sterilise it. So if you're on the go, it's really helpful. And then now, so these are a little bit small now, we've now moved on to the range of Tommy Tippy bottles. I think Max has 6 to 7 ounces each feed. These are really cute. Pro tip, buy the rainbow coloured ones. We have a lesson learned that if you buy the clear ones and put them in a dishwasher with anything with value food colouring it, particularly in tomato, they all get stained and look horrible. Rainbow bright ones. So that's the feeding. And then kind of with that, we took a bib, a couple of bibs actually, and we carry bibs all the time. Max has started teething now, so it's particularly helpful to stop some of that drool. Dummies, I know dummies can be a bit of a sensitive topic. We had no particular plans in either direction whether to use dummies. We have ended up using them. He really likes them. I'm now going through a process of removing them. He's actually getting rid of them himself with teething, but I'll just take you through what I'd recommend. So we were actually gifted these ones. It's a little nook dummies, and there's like a little like glow in the dark version, super cute. My tip would be buy these little dummy hangers. We also use them for toys to attach to his changing station. So if he knocks it off, it doesn't go on the floor. Or if Matt's carrying Max in a little over carrier and he has it and it falls, it doesn't fall on the ground. Really, really, really helpful. With this bag came actually a really cute dummy little holder that kind of goes with it. So keep them kind of cleaning away from things, which is really helpful. Other things that we had with us, so back to kind of the feeding topic, if we suddenly change bags for the day or we've got extra stuff, we have this little thing which is actually kind of sealed. It hasn't got the same ice packs with it, so it's not quite as good, but it will in emergency keep you going and keep your bottles a little cool for a little bit of time. Clothing, so they recommend you take a number of bodysuits with you, things to keep him warm. So I'll take you through what we took. So we took probably like 4 or 5 of these little, I mean, look how cute they are now. Little bodysuits. Little stars one. If you live in the UK, I'd highly recommend Georgia Asda. They do a really cute range of these at really cheap prices. They do them in bulk and they wash really well. Max effectively lives in these all day long. The other thing we took, and actually what he wore in the hospital quite a lot, were the full suits. But he was, I mean, these are completely newborn sizes, but he was drowned in them, to be honest, so his feet didn't reach the bottom. They're only now beginning to reach the bottom, and these are zip ones and button ones, but they've got the footsies included to keep his feet warm, which is really helpful. These ones are from Amazon, I think, and they come with a little cute, matching cute hats, which is very sweet. So we took 2 or 3 of those, and then with it, we took some little socks to keep his feet warm, little mittens, which is really sweet. So we took 2 sets of each of those. To kind of go with that, there's a whole topic in its own right, but basically swaddling. So in the hospital, what they do is they wrap them in a little white sheet. So we have this, we bought some for ourselves. I mean, effectively you could cut up a big white sheet and do the same thing. They swaddle them in this, keep his arms in with his reflex, and then they use these kind of blankets, which is like breathable, presumably see little holes in it, breathable blankets. So if it goes over his face or something happens, he can still breathe. We were gifted a lot of these types of blankets, which are gorgeous and feel amazing, but they're not particularly breathable. So these are great to lay him on the sofa and play with him, but they're not quite great for him to sleep in yet. So we started with this. We started exactly what the hospital had, which is swaddled, little blanket on top, very tight, quite low down. Loved it. As he's got a bit bigger and a bit stronger, we've moved on, and also for convenience, we moved on to sleep sacks with the arms closed. So these are the Tommy Tippy brand. This one's particularly thin. You can see from when the tog and size ratings. This was great because Max was born in a heat wave. We've used other brands, which I think I got this one because this was highly recommended from lots of YouTubers. Again, it's got the little poppers for the shoulders sealed up. What I wouldn't probably recommend is, just if you're interested, there are these little ones which you can find on Amazon which kind of velcro. They're not really strong enough and not very convenient. The other one we've got, which we're going to be using soon, is it goes with our Nanit, so our camera. So this sends sensor information back to the camera, and I'll give you an update on that when I use it. So Max uses these at the moment. We're just about to kind of grow out of them and start migrating me into having his arms free, so when he gets to 6 months he can move into his own cot. So I'll give you an update on that when it goes hopefully well. Other things to take. You want to take muslins. If you can't have enough of these, so whether it's kind of the muslin material or whether it's a more cottony, thick material, burp cloths basically, anything to mop him up as he goes. And we have hundreds and hundreds of these, and they are constantly in my washing machine. Buy as many as you can. What else do we have to go with? So, car seat. Haven't got it here. It's obviously downstairs. We kind of messed this up originally, and we bought a car seat that did say it was for newborns. And actually, I kind of showed it to my brother. Brother's got lots of children, and he immediately said that's not for newborns. He wouldn't support his head properly. So do your research, have a look online, make sure you have a specific special car seat for babies, make sure his head's supported and you can lie back a bit. And there's lots of stuff you'll read online and YouTube about, they won't let you take your baby away from the hospital unless they can prove you've got a car seat and you can prove you can put it into your car. I mean, that didn't happen for me. Maybe it was just the experience I had, maybe it's happened to other people. But I will kind of say, we walked in, we showed, we had the car seat, we took him away, no one checked, no one asked. Obviously look after your baby and have a proper car seat and look after him. I'm quite sure you could also have a pram and walk out if you wanted to. As long as your baby's safe is all they really care about. Kind of the final thing I'll cover is a few tips for what you should have in your bag. So obviously don't go without your medical records. This is just actually a folder of all the leaflets and everything that held my medical records in. I happen to take this, which is something I take on holiday, which is, if you see, it's just full of mini sample size shampoos, toothpaste, hair bubbles, lip balm, toothbrush, all your basic toiletries that you need anytime you go anywhere. I put it in a clear bag, really useful for the nurses or your husband if they suddenly need to root around and pass you something and they don't want to go through the bag forever. Really helpful to see everything at a glance. Also waterproof, highly recommend that. A few other things, everyone says take slippers because you might want to walk around the wards. I didn't do that, but I did take flip-flops. And after you've given birth and you need to take a shower and you're going to the toilet, waterproof shoes are really helpful. Highly recommend taking flip-flops with you. So I think, and the only other thing I'd probably say is take some cereal bars, take some snack bars, take some energy drinks, keep yourself and your other half up with energy because you're really going to need it. I think that's it. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you think I've missed or if there's anything you'd like to know more about. I will be doing some more videos on kind of what's happened and kind of a bit more progress with baby Max. So thank you very much. Bye.